This is MSNBC Live, November 26, 2020.
Thank you to you all, guys. Appreciate it. And again, enjoy your Thanksgiving day ahead. I want to bring in California Congressman Ted Lieu, who sits on the House Judiciary Committee, as well as the Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, thanks for joining us on this Thanksgiving holiday. Always appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us. Let's first talk about this controversial pardon overnight of Mike Flynn. Here's what Judiciary Chair Jerry Nadler tweeted, and I quote, Mike Flynn lied to investigators about communicating with a foreign adversary. That's a crime. Trump dangled a pardon in exchange for Flynn's non-cooperation. That is abuse of power. Congressman, is the Judiciary Committee prepared to do more than finger wagging here at this point after this pardon?
Thank you, Yasmin, for your question. Let me first say happy Thanksgiving to you and to everyone who is watching. And I do believe that Congress needs to hold Michael Flynn accountable. But let's first be grateful that Michael Flynn was, in fact, fired and did not serve as National Security Advisor for the last 4 years, because that would have been a corrupt disaster. And that's in large part due to the professionalism and hard work of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And I want to commend the FBI for their investigation into Michael Flynn. Now, this pardon itself is corrupt. I agree with Chairman Nadler that he was dangled a pardon. That's why he remained silent and did not incriminate Donald Trump. But now that the pardon has happened, his Fifth Amendment right regarding this issue goes away, and Michael Flynn will now have to testify about what Donald Trump knew related to Russia.
So I just spoke with Peter Baker a little bit about this, but I want you to expand on some of the New York Times reporting that we're getting when it comes to potential pardons in the pipeline. And here's what they write. Potential pardon seekers and their allies are discussing a range of strategies to win over the president. They include highlighting donations to Mr. Trump, spending money at his properties, trying to hire lawyers or lobbyists seen as close to him, and emphasizing business connections that could help Mr. Trump after he leaves office. Is there anything illegal? Is there anything improper about basically asking for pardons that they could then subsequently scratch the former president's back once he's out of office?
It is not illegal for the president to pardon his friends. It's also one reason the American people fired Donald Trump, because the president repeatedly put himself and his friends above the law and above those American people.
But what about if he's making money off of those? What about if he's making money off of these pardons after he leaves office?
So if a pardon was done in exchange for a bribe, that certainly would be illegal. And Bill Barr himself has said that would be illegal. So we would have to look at the specific case. But in general, the president can, in fact, pardon his friends. But it's also one of his behaviors that the American people threw him out of office for.
I want to talk to you about what I just spoke with Ali Vitale about, and that is this criticism that we're hearing from some Democrats, not all Democrats, just some Democrats, that Joe Biden is approaching this thing a little bit differently than he maybe should, considering the fact that he, for 36 years, he approached government as if it wasn't, in fact, bipartisan, as if he could reach across the aisle to his friends on the Republican side, and how Washington has totally and completely changed. And they talk about not necessarily appointing Susan Rice as an example here, because she would be an uphill battle when it comes to the confirmation process. And even Senator Lindsey Graham has said publicly, when Susan Rice's name was floated, that in fact she would be an uphill battle when it comes to the confirmation process. By not choosing her, it seems Joe Biden is essentially saying, I'm not willing to fight at this point. I want to come in calmly because America needs calm right now. What do you make of this criticism?
I'm not sure about what Joe Biden was thinking with all his different cabinet picks. What I do know is that Tony Blinken is going to be an awesome Secretary of State. And I've been on various conference calls with Tony Blinken. He has a wealth of experience. He knows the State Department inside out. And so he is an amazing pick for Secretary of State. It's possible that Susan Rice will get another position within the administration, and that'll be up to President-elect Biden.
Can things get done, though, in Washington right now, being bipartisan? I mean, is Washington so divided that things can't even get done across the aisle? Because, I mean, look at relief talks, for instance. You have millions of Americans suffering in this country right now. I'm doing a story hour after hour about people in food lines that have never been in food lines before, not able to find jobs, suffering through this holiday. It doesn't seem like things can actually be done in a bipartisan manner in Washington right now.
So we absolutely have to try. The House of Representatives passed the HEROES Act on May 15th of this year. So for many months, the White House and the Senate unfortunately twiddled their thumbs and didn't act on it. So we basically negotiated against ourselves and passed a second version of the HEROES Act, dropping the stimulus package from $3.4 trillion to now $2.2 trillion. So there's in fact two bills sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk that he could send over to the president for signature, and the American people will get immediate relief. It's my hope that he will do that in the lame duck session in December.
Americans do, in fact, need relief, especially during this holiday season and these long winter months. Congressman Ted Lieu, thank you so much. Enjoy your holiday ahead. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Coming up next, everybody, thousands of healthcare workers are spending this Thanksgiving